block with the death via touch to get decent trades in, but you also get the side benefit of the loss. Samsung Galaxy taking down SK Telecom as they went one by one trying to kill Ruler's Varus on the day, and you can go lifesteal pretty happily. Double lifesteal on the Kalista. Nice interrupt of the E there. It's okay.
He's still in the spot of bother though. Flashes over to the other side. Go ahead and keep himself safe, but flash after the Malcolm.
We outlined how the late game doesn't necessarily suit them, barring some excellent team fights. And that's why just taking down Drakes would be a nice start.
They will go ahead and have that one. Fate's Call's been drawn out as they throw Mata forward looking for Peanut. Just takes a nice little sidestep. Wolf now does have level 6. Leap in comes through from Bang. They're looking for Mata, but that's going to be the Stand United coming down from the Shan. As Wolf does go low. Still is in the fight at the moment, and Pawn gets locked down, but the Dark Passage will go ahead and take him out. Tara not able to arrive and has been conceding CS very much to the side of Deft. See how far behind Bang is at the moment. Looking for a little bit of a trade. Big shot getting ready to come through. Score will be jumping in.
Interrupts!
Bang interrupted. Pops the shield, but it's not going to be enough. First blood does come through as it's handed over to Deft. Now they're looking for Wolf. As the ultimate still available, as well as his flash. We'll go ahead and pop that charge his way out, but now KT going to be looking for their first turret here, 15.5 minutes in.
Establishing a win streak while KT Rolster couldn't play. Their season had already ended after they lost to SK Telecom, and that's a different type of problem. Famously, Casson doesn't have much wave clear, so can at least get a bit of a chunk onto this turret.
Quite a bit of damage down onto it. Scores in the vicinity, looking for anybody to cut off. He's going to go ahead and jump in onto Peanut, has the ultimate, pulls him back. For a little bit more, Hook connects in onto Wolf, not onto the Maokai. It looks like Peanut will be going down. Couple more hits, gets the Sap Magic passive, and the Smite to try to keep him alive, but he'll go down in the end as Pawn finds the second.
They can draw out both and actually have their own Sheen auto attacker with Mountain Drake, Shen with Titanic Hydra push. That could be big. As finally we see Faker and Pawn in that mid to late game.
He's looking for the play, but the Stand United is there, as you're just talking about. The Shen Faker tries to make it over to that Honey Fruit instead, jumps into the pit. Might have to use the flash, does so to get himself out safely. In the meantime, Peanut running down. That Nature's Grasp will get jumped on. The Ren comes through, and Deft finds another kill. 2 over to the Kalista, 3-0. KT Rolster are in full control. Score leaping in, looking for a pick, doesn't find much. Just take that Dark Passage out.
Tom Flash missed from the Shen, but they were able to get a pick onto Peanut anyway. Than that. And Maokai can still turn fights. Teleports from Castans and Nars can still turn fights. It's only in neutral areas like this where they can see this. Okay!
Oh, the Hook is just going to go ahead, land in onto Bang, regardless, and now the Ren comes down. Deft will keep himself alive. The explosive charge not enough to find him, but they will find Faker. Another Hook coming through. Ripwalk will not save you. It's a double kill to Deft. 4 on the board for him, and KT might just be looking at Baron 25.5 minutes
Mata
in.
has Death Sentence on a targeted ability this game because pulling off hook after hook, the Kalista Thresh was the big duo they were able to get, and even though everything around them could potentially not work, they've managed to get the maximum value out of Kalista Thresh. This should be the first Baron of the game. Peanut has gotten a lot of steals, but he smited down a Raptor. He's given up on this one.
And it's also Mata just waiting in the wings. You know that the Death Sentence is going to connect yet again. They'll just take a ride into the pit. The Ren comes through.
All the things we outlined about what SKT's draft does do not apply because Baron buff is the ultimate equalizer.
I mean, if you're Bang, I don't even know who you hate more in that instance. Do you hate Score or do you hate Mata, the deliverer or the catcher? In the meantime, Faker getting jumped on. Shadow Dash comes through, and he is just going to melt
Recall. It's Baron buff, so they're able to make teleport plays because the expected outcome, if you get the gank off, goes way up. It's not just going to be a single turret. It's pushing into an inhibitor turret as well, and KT's map pressure is off the charts.
Well, that's 2 inners. Hook does connect, but Mata doesn't want to take a ride over the wall onto Wolf. Will get a decent chunk away from the Alistar. Still quite healthy. Seems like KT will be dissuaded for now. Very deep TP coming through from Faker. Down by the enemy Raptors. Will be charging in through the mid lane looking for a play, but he's spotted out, and that just might be the burn of
the
TP.
minions are so important there to give them exact timing on where to go, so Mata didn't just run into Faker.
Faker, maybe in a bad spot, has to use the flash. Will be jumping away.
Meanwhile,
back into the mid lane as they look for Tara, snatches him up, kidnaps him yet again, and delivers another kill onto Deft. 5th for him, 5-0 on this Kalista, and that's going to be the inhibitor going over to KT.
I mean, SKT have such a slippery draft, but it's a pick come from KT because of their amazing mechanics in this game. They have penalized them to the maximum with Thresh and Zac that can go oh so wrong if those skill shots miss. They've already broken the base super early in the game, and all SKT can do is watch on in horror.
Another hook coming through, looking for Faker, flays him back, but he jumps over the wrist walk. In the meantime, Wolf going low, Chain's coming through, not gonna have the lockup, but
man
finds a massive Shadow Dash. Nature's Grasp thrown down by Peanut, but he is just likely to die yet again. Flashes away, gets locked down, another rend over from Depth, puts another kill on the board, a second inhibitor going down, and honestly, KT are going to be looking to close out this game pre-35 minutes.
Everyone's predictions of 3-0 SKT, they always have the win over and is known as a champion to be able to push off. This is probably the time for SKT where you have to make the panic engage, where you have to make the last stand. The Alamo's not going to be the last inhibitor turret. This could just be 3 inhibitors down for SK Telecom.
Can't quite walk Depth up comfortably to get in on top of it. Untara in that Meganar form at the moment is still threatening. Score's going to go in deep, however, looking for the kidnap, does find one in onto Wolf, drags him away as he goes low. Shadow Dash comes through, and he is going to get taken down. Did not have the Unbreakable Will, and now Peanut will be suffering a similar fate. Another Rend might just do it. No, one more auto attack will take him down. Another double kill over to Depth, who seems like he is just having the perfect game, but it's the supporting cast around him that is really enabling it. Mata has been an absolute monster on this Thresh so far. Looking for the killing blow here. Pawn going low, takes quite a bit of damage, but Stand United will keep him healthy, and in the fight, dashes to the side for the pick in onto Untara. Comes up with a knockback. They'll get the pop onto the Zac, but he hasn't gone down yet. Neither has Depth, but Faker finally comes up with the kill, the massive shutdown, but he just delivers himself to death as well. Finally a kill on the board for SK Telecom, but it might be the only one that they see.
Might extend the game though, Achilles. Pawn has to teleport back in if they want to try to finish now. They don't have to be greedy. They're going to go for it anyway. This is definitely the KT way.
Looking for the turnaround. Hook going to go wide for once as Pawn comes in, gets popped up immediately, and Bang has quite a lot of damage to offer up onto that LeBlanc. He has to dash back, keep himself alive, but in the meantime, Untara has fallen. Nexus is exposed. KT will go ahead, hold off for now, but they can just go ahead. Pressure alleviated here for SK Telecom as the mid inhibitor has respawned. Pings are out onto the Baron. Already getting started up. That's going to have a massive amount of Rend stacks into that one as Pawn finds Bang, takes him low, dashes in, one final chain. Will take him down, but can he get out alive? Headbutt Pulverize coming through, dashes over the wall. Baron has gone down. Dark Passage is there for Mata to go ahead and
level performance, particularly in the Samsung series with our pre-match graphic from OGN. This game has not been that. He's taken the ultra defensive route of going for barrier, having heal on his AD carry, but being caught too many times, been off on his rocket jumps too many times. He's dead as KT rolls to with up with those Baron buff minions, want to end the game.
Looking for it, Score. Going to be overshooting that one as Zentar desperately tries to build up the range bar. Needs one hell of a setup to try to turn this around for his team, but he is getting locked down and junked out. Mansa Sun in onto Pawn, pushes Score back towards the fountain, but can't get much more than that. In the meantime, Score has the kidnap onto 2 members as he drags Peanut and Wolf into the fight, but that's just going to be the Nexus going.
Waiting to 20 seconds, it will be Pawn, interestingly, on the gangplank.
Like safety though for Pawn in the mid lane. Can go ahead. Nominally orange, get himself out of the taunt and keep himself safe from the ganks from the side of Peanut. If he gets him with the flag and drag, it's maybe a bit of a rougher situation. Speaking of which, flag and drag forward will get the pop-up on the Smed. He's that passive, doing so much damage. Flash away from the rupture. Smed flashes to the side, but
Galio coming.
Antara's going to be chasing through as he tries to just go ahead and spin them over toward the side of Score, and just the presence of the Gragas is enough for SKT to go ahead.
This game will evolve into Score playing around bot side when Summoners are down.
Rupture not going to connect, but Flash Body Slam comes through. That's going to be a red buff slow up. Nice Arcane Smash will knock them back, but Antara might still be going down. A couple more hits will do it, and they can go ahead and chase in underneath the turret.
Turn around.
Pops him to the side. Score will get the first blood, but he's going to pay for it with his life.
The teleport's down for Untara, so it still ends up being how tanky you get. Third item, Gargo's Stone Plate. Pulling it off because, you know, you can press that Stone Plate during the animation of the barrels and answer them as bot lane.
Gonna be a bit of a play
Death goes the wrong way.
Oh, they pop him away. Yeah, tries to get in on top of the Lantern, manages to take it away. Cataclysm comes down and he leaps over the wall. He's still alive as Mata drops the box. So even though Depth kind of botches it all, Mata still has.
That's the sort of stats I'm looking for, Achilles. Write that down.
That's a drunken stat. Well, Peanut, flag and drag over the wall. Heroic entrance just to keep him topped up.
Using Flash there was interesting choice from Score, but Thresh was around and Mata didn't use any summoners in the previous engagement down bot side. Now they know that Hero's entrance down. Teleport is up though for Faker, so this is not necessarily going to be a freebie for the Drake.
Well, they have the Ren stacks here. Pinch starting to come through, TP back into the middle of the lane from Faker. will be arriving and doesn't have the hero's entrance. KT starting to get pushed off as Zuntara will also be arriving. Now we're going to be seeing Smeb joining in the fray here as the play comes down. Big taunt landing from Faker. Nature's Grasp going to go ahead. Going to run them all over, but Mata's actually going to get the kill in the end with the Ignite while he was devoured.
Drake's not even dead.
Right, yeah, Drake has not gone down yet. Will go ahead and reset as the stacks start coming through. Mata yet again with another play. Now in onto Zuntara. Ren comes through, but no, it's going to be Smeb scooping up the kill with the feast. And Mountain Drake goes over to KT in the end.
They have tried to play around bot side. Again, if you track back what happened in game one, the moment that KT got a successful gank bot side is when things got better. Speaking of ganks.
For a play here on a score as that Cataclysm will come down. He'll just flash out. So go ahead, get rid of that. So one less tool for the Gragas. Not too bad for just the Flag and Dragon ultimate investment. Meantime, Hook going to come out, but Mata not going to be finding the connect.
Right now, with little jungle control for SKT around mid side, Horn's been one of the big profiteers, and they're turning onto their second Drake of the game. Faker's in base again.
He Flag and Drags in. TP's going to be coming through here from Zuntara. We will see that Dragon going over. Now Peanut knocked to the side, gets taken out despite the hero's entrance coming through from Faker. Massive roots coming down from the Nature's Grasp, but now Zuntara going to be in a spot of bother. The box will not clip him. He'll get slowed up by the Ren into the hook. He goes down as Pawn finds the kill. 5-1 KT with another Drake.
SKT's shot calling is really off in this series because second time that Faker goes back to base and then teleports in, which already is going to be a more risky way to pull things off. And then everyone kind of evacuates ship in different directions. They can channel the Rift Herald. They get the Drake again. It feels like specifically around Peanut and Faker, who have so much initiation between the two of them. They really haven't reached a consensus, and that's allowing KT to increase the pace of the game. And Trinity Force walks in on the gangplank. They still have the Rift Herald. It's 2 turrets for free.
Yeah, just go ahead, knock that one down. Rift Herald might even be able to get a decent charge off onto this.
Well, I've got good news for you, Achilles. You were looking for the maximum health Cho'Gath. Well, he's going the same build as we saw from Huni, and maybe less kills, but similar amount of CS.
Oh, yet again going in. We'll go ahead and get the heal away from Bang. They have the barrier this
around him. They're much more playing around him in this series, and then straight up, of his own volition, he's making the plays.
Slam coming through, explosive cask. Not gonna get the pop back. Devour's there.
Turning on to the Baron. KT, SKT no longer have vision around there. There's the first ping onto it. Their secure here is about as easy as possible.
Kara still hasn't started channeling the TP. Will do so now from the bottom lane, but he's not going to be arriving in time to stop the Baron from going down. The feast is there, rather, from Smeb to go ahead and confirm that one. Nature's Grasp.
SKT want to fight.
Rolling through, and Tara goes in. He's an advance down in on a score, but now he's isolated. Hero's entrance will help keep him alive for the moment. As Faker gets a decent little pop-up. Couple members taunted in as Smeb goes low. Can this be the turnaround that SKT desperately needs? Smeb will go down. So far, nobody else on the side of KT has been taken out, but scores on the wrong side of the map. Missile Voyage coming through, not quite the right angle, but Peanut's there to slow him up with the Aegis. It seems like Score might just be dying in this one.
He's the fastest fat man in the West. He'll get out.
Yeah, he's got the wraparound. TP's going to be committed here by Faker.
And get the coverage from Pawn and the Supermans. They have to cancel it. The greatest going to have to be the defensive side of the coin with the Galio and the Maokai. KT were much more set up to peel back. When you start getting towards enemy inhibitor turrets, you have to make your own dives, and the reliability goes down. So it's going to be more difficult once they get to actual inhibitor line to make the big plays.
We're looking for this turret here in the top lane. Hook comes down, Flay down onto Zuntara. Box not quite going to clip him. The Devourer is there, but Wolf gets popped back, has to flash away. And Faker has to Justice punch his way out of there. Looking for the taunt in, does connect it on the Deft.
Not convincing Smeb to join the fight
yet. Damage, but now the Cannon Barrage coming down. And Wolf doesn't even get a chance to pop the shield. He just dies. Faker now dragged back in. Does land the 4-man taunt, but it might just be a taunt as he gets ready to go down. A couple more shots. We'll finish him off as Deft picks up yet another kill, and now that is going to be it. That's going to be the inhibitors.
And it was 4v5 as well. Cho'Gath didn't even feel pressure enough to teleport. Most people would teleport just to celebrate, but he just stayed bot lane, kept pushing. They take the inhibitor, and they don't even need to make a tough play around an inhibitor turret because they have 2 dead.
Yeah, and now we can just go ahead, push, cut straight down through the base, take a second one. It's 25 seconds left for Faker to come up. Wolf up in 1. KT likely going to be happy with this. Wave not really in a great spot to rotate over to the mid side of the map.
Is kind of the cheat code. Pop stone plate feels like a cheat code when you have 8,000 HP to tank up a turret. Waiting for them. They're waiting for their minion waves to get into spot. But Smeb, he's being engaged on, but I use that term very lightly. Air quotes there.
Slow siege onto the tower here. Will be taking it down, and Tara throwing out the Nature's Grasp. They have plenty of time to dodge around this one in the meantime. Cataclysm coming through from Peanut, but he's locked in there with Smeb, and he's going to get taken out as the feast comes through. Faker into the back, lands a taunt onto absolutely everybody, but now he's got nowhere to go, no supporting cast, as Untara will get taken down. Wolf as well, not going to be able to offer up any of those devours. Faker doing his best, taunting everybody, but it's to the very end as he and the rest of his team will die. Bang, the last one to fall, and in 31 minutes, KT Rolster are moving to match point. The 3-0 dream is real, but do not get excited yet again. There's one more potential. In blank.
Always wait to let it settle. Really, that's what he wants to do, to ensure that no snowball goes down for the Elites.
Already Untara having a bit of a rough time, as both junglers will be up on the top side of the map. Score waiting over the wall.
He doesn't know they're here.
No, he does not. Body slam going to come through. He's going to take quite a bit of damage. Dodges out on the twisted advance with that repel. Takes quite a bit from the arcane smash. Cocoon will not connect, but they trade decently back here onto Untara. But Blank, he's looking for it. He's just going to go ahead, flash to the other side, gets the first blood, and now Smeb's just got to get out of there.
Yeah, big mistake from Score, who held onto his CC for a long time. No pressure on the side. Notice it's a cleanse from Faker, so he's not taking teleport. A lot of mid lane Corkis, even in bad matchups, are taking teleport for team comp. That does mean KT have a teleport advantage. A lot going on in the side lanes.
Yeah, back in the mid low, ongoing low, flashes away, a Score arrives, lands a Cocoon this time around. Faker looking for the kill perhaps, flashes in, has the big one, takes him down. But is out of mana, so can't pursue in on the Score. Just gonna be a 1-for-1 there in the mid lane.
A lot going on everywhere. Def might be dead.
Oh yeah, he's going to get jumped on, has to flash away from the grand entrance. Playback coming through now onto Wolf. The hook will connect, but can they stick around for this one? Get the shield, keeps himself alive. As Bang uses the heal. Still very even across the board, except perhaps that top lane where Smeb has a pretty commanding lead in CS. We've already seen the trades now. On going in onto Faker, takes him quite low.
And more rotations of spells, only level 7.
And it just never stops as Score finds Blank. Pawn wrapping around from the side. Blank
is going to be there first.
Forward. Okay, is going to be there. Pawn flashes to the side, comes up with the kill, but can he make it out of here? Nature's Grass coming through. Tries to go ahead and jukes back with the distortion. Score going low. Another rocket connecting. Mata misses out on the hook, was throwing that one blind. But here comes Smeb, Flag and Dragon, special delivery with the Cataclysm, picks up the kill. And just like that, KT decently competitive here against Faker. Of course, had to split his build to get that Hex Drinker first. In the meantime, Grand Entrance thrown down. Mata taking a lot of damage. Will get popped back by the Buster Shot, but will not go down. Def tries his best to trade back, but with just the BF sword and the long sword, it's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage as the Sivir quite yet.
I don't know, Score is bot side, but it'll take a genius to work it out if Sivir still pushes up. Heal enough to keep Deft alive. That's the only extra summoner invested on, but this was all well timed by SKT as the Drake is up. They're going to make the first attempt onto it.
Scored in the back of the pit, so they do see this one getting started up. Score starting to wrap his way around.
Only a Cloud Drake, so KT don't have to overforce on this, but they're going to.
They say that, but that's going to be the engage, and Tara's still going to be up in the top lane. Grand Entrance dash to the side there from Wolf as the Flag and Drag comes through, locks him into the Cataclysm. Blank has to flash out, as does Wolf, but he might still be going down.
No kills.
This is the Dragon Strike, doesn't find it, but Pawn dashing in will be able to scoop up the double kill. The chain to confirm there on to Blank, 2 kills going.
Smeb is a player who can play carry and tank equally good. There is almost no player in the world that can do that. Huni in spring season was one of the few that was able to straddle that line as well. If you give Smeb an advantage, he has the mechanics to outplay you. He has a carry mindset, and his teleport use is good. He is a complete top laner, unlike many top laners in the world. And him having this much of a lead against Untara, who, regardless of his success, is much more of a role player. He can play Rumble comfortably, many things comfortably. Watching Pawn.
Pawn in some trouble, will go ahead and get knocked up, but there's so much damage there from the Corki and the Gragas.
Well invested.
He will get taken. So that'll help.
Just to complete my thought, and so the reason why I talk about it is that Untara is not the sort of player you would expect SKT to throw against him. I think it's why they usually run Huni, is because he also has the mechanics to jump up, but they went for the reliable choice 3 games in a row.
Well, this could be getting a bit risky here. TP coming through from Pawn. That's going to be the spike coming down. A Score finds the Ripped Herald. He's in a bit of trouble here. Goes up with a repel, but what goes up must come down, and one more hit will do it as he falls. Wolf dashing to the side, takes himself out to safety, and now Smeb is cut off. Throws out the Cataclysm, looking for the damage to kill off the Rakan. Can't get the hits in, and now it's 5-5 with SKT.
Even from way behind in lane, fulfill his job in a team fight. Doesn't have budget tankiness anymore. Untara didn't expect Smeb to be there.
No, he did not, but he's pretty tanky. So it seems like he might be all right in the exchange. Now we're going back over towards that cloud.
Everything on score.
On the score, and he's just going to get taken down. Bang with the explosive charge comes up with a kill. Now Mata having to flash the way. The box buys him a little bit of time as Bang leaps in. Be finding much else in the meantime. Smeb still duking it out here with Untara, who has to flash away. Throws down the Nature's Grasp for good measure. Will get himself out of there
in games 1 and 2.
Trying to recollect themselves here. SKT looking to be proactive, pushing up into the top lane. Wolf tries to get the knock up there onto Smeb, but he has to flash away. But this many members up in the top side of the map, you have to expect that he's going to surrender that turret. Package does drag Faker far enough away to get out of those chains from Pawn.
Smeb had used the flag for farming.
It's going to be the wraparound. Faker says, screw it, I just have to try to kill the LeBlanc, but since he can't do that, might be in a spot of bother. Repel comes through, he's stashing his way back in. Cocoon and the Hook are both going to miss. Pawn lands the chain. Will he make it out alive? One final turret shot will not take him down. There's nobody else in the vicinity to finish him off. So they will just go ahead and find Faker, but it was a group effort. In the meantime, that turret goes down at the top. Smeb going in onto Bang, drops down the Cataclysm, gets pushed out by the Buster Shot. Now is set running. Flag and drags over the wall. Can he get out of here live? The answer is going to be no as Blank comes over the wall, slows him up, and it's just a couple more hits to finish him off.
Will eventually take him down right at the front of Baron. They clear a control ward there, but won't start the Baron just yet.
Even Untara has been able to go ahead and claw his way back in here. Just 9 CS down, has those 3 assists coming through as well. The engage coming through, actually double pop-up, and Dep just gets absolutely annihilated. Repel coming down from the score, and Bang has the follow-up. 2 more kills thrown over for SK Telecom, one of them being the jungler. They might be looking at Baron.
You wonder why SKT's been running Rakan for this long, because they're able to make the instant picks with Wolves oh so cleanly. In game 3, they're going to turn onto the Baron. They know no smite is available. LeBlanc might be in range, but really nothing that Pawn will be able to do. Baron going to be picked up by SK Telecom, and KT Rolster went for the snowball engage drop, went for a very strong pick comp. The pick comps mean very little against Baron. The big pick here for SKT, the ability to actually get instant picks. Alistair had to always shadow Thresh in the previous series, seeing a very deep teleport.
You're looking for Untara.
From LeBlanc.
Flag and Drag not going to connect. Untara does have the flash available, but the rest of the team is coming through, so he is almost certainly going to go down. But do they have the damage to kill him off before the rest of SKT joins in? It looks like the answer is going to be no. Box coming down, Hook connects in onto Wolf. Flag and Drag forward from Smeb, but he's just isolated himself, and he'll go down as Faker finds the kill. Now Pawn will also get taken out. 1 for Bang, 1 for Faker, and KT is sent running back to the base.
KT trying to accelerate the pace of the game, trying to get kills now. They feel that they can't take the game in the late game due to their focus on damage. May actually force a game 4 here, Kilios. SKT so powerful. Now they have the Baron buff. There's no threat of Smeb or LeBlanc. Base should be broken for SK Telecom.
Yeah, 20 more seconds on the LeBlanc. They can just go ahead and push straight in for the inhibitor. Likely not going to be having a base sweep like we saw from KT Rolster in games 1 and 2, but this is still such a better performance from SK Telecom as they go ahead and knock this inhib down at 26 minutes. Now Def's going to get jumped onto his advance. Let's take Untara forward, but he's got the spell shield to deny the root. But SK Telecom just going to be looking for this tier 2 here in mid. Bang not going to get caught out by that Hook. Will stay alive, will stay safe, and they're looking for another one.
Yeah, they can just brute force through. The Tristana is out of control. It's getting his engage.
Coming through, they find the lockdown onto Pawn. He goes low, he gets popped. Another kill for Bang on the Tristana. Now Smeb yet again jumps into the back, tries to finish off Faker. Faker flashes to the side, stays alive, has the shielding, and Smeb will go down as the score. They're looking for the ace. Mata will get taken down in the end, and that's going to be the game. Going over to SKT, they put one on the board. They're making it a series. That's game 3. We're going to game 4.
Pawn, as we saw there, right there, Bang Goomba stomping people on the Tristana, getting reset after reset. The game ends the moment that SKT have it in their control. 5 minutes is all they need, and SKT have a life. Again, he was the one they left the blind pick, sorry, the answering pick too. Faker's on the Corki, we know how's probably the difference. Children usually throw them away. Red buff being,
how much they like it.
That's true. Red buff being taken in visions, they know the pathing of Blank. Late ward was put down by Smeb.
Hook coming through, will find the connection. Go ahead, drop that lantern, but this time they have the body block, and Depth is going to take a bit of damage from that explosive charge.
Renekton's happily pushed in top and score. Going for a creative gank here. He's level 4, so he can get over this wall pretty happily.
Going to be looking for it here as they start pushing forward. Gets the pop up there onto Bang.
Interrupts
nice
again.
play, yeah, pulls him back in, forces out the flash.
The interrupts on the rocket jump have been pretty pinpoint in this series, but that one not going to lead the downfall of Bang. His flash is down, heal was down earlier from Deft.
Faker now going low. While throwing out those threaded volleys, trying to get those hits down onto the Corki. Not going to have kill pressure quite yet, but still just has kind of Faker kind of backed up into the wall. But now, maybe a bit overextended. Pawn is cheating up towards the top side of that river. Needs to get out of here quickly. Flash body slam coming through. Gatling gun firing away. Pawn's going to try to turn this one around. Gets the hits in, but Faker, he flashes out, and first blood goes over to Blank.
It wasn't able to flash fast enough. Didn't see the body slam flash come through. So nice stuff from the side of Blank. I was going to mention that KT were being pretty greedy, pushing in 3 lanes while Score was largely farming.
Hook coming down. Yeah, they find Deft, and he might be dead this time around. Double flight coming through. Ignite is ticking away. And Bang doesn't have the flash to pursue in to try to get a reset, so Deft will be staying alive for the moment.
So much action almost instantly there. The hooks have been pinpoint accurate from the side of Wolf, and not been able to get any value from the Lantern.
Forward yet again. This time Mata just going to try to body block. Still takes quite a bit of damage. Hook comes down. They do find Bang, but Blank is arriving. Smeb off the TP. Takes him down, but has to flash away, as there's still 3 rather healthy members nearby.
The TP was cancelled by Ontara, so he'll stay in lane and be able to push out as well in a trade that only leads to one aggressive, answering the first brick gold in the bot lane, which is probably the most likely place given the comps we have in bot side. And so far, KT, with the completed teleport, have been able to do that, and it's led to a 13 CS advantage and also kill involvement for Deft.
Well, right now looking for the blue buff, but Score doesn't have the spike quite yet, nor does Blank. Blue buff's going to go low. Who can get this one? Can't quite see who's got it taken away, but in the meantime, Mata goes down as Bang finds the kill. Now Score very far forward, goes low. Leaps to the side, pulls Wolf out, but it's just going to be the killing fields coming through here for SK Telecom as they scoop up 2 kills, 2 for 1 in their favor.
KT would have fancied themselves for the first Drake of the game, with Inferno being the first one, not able to. Now we're looking for a top lane party.
Are making their roam up here in Tara. We're halfway to transforming, so could still get his way out of here. Flash in for the stun seismic shove to push him back. He gets the double hop, and he'll be quite all right. And his Faker arrives, so now KT not even going to be able to put pressure down onto the turret, but instead they want to turn this around in onto the Corki. Do drag him back in, but he makes it over the wall with a flash. Now the flash hook coming through. Pawn getting popped up. Goes low with the ignite. Smeb going in deep. Push to the side. Will get taken down, and Tara finds the kill, and now Score in a bad spot. Gets the elastic slingshot out. Boulder not going to connect. They're not out of dodge yet. Wolf is still chasing in, but the seismic shove from Pawn might have bought them enough distance.
These sort of fights would have worked with the Callista with more initiation options.
Like we might just end up with that game number 5, unless KT can turn things around in a major way. It's only 1.3 thousand gold that they're down, but SKT, they're looking for a bit more here. As Mep does get jumped on. He's slowed up. Tries to get a little bit of health back there, but pop to the side. This means that he is going to go down. Has the slice, but no dice. Just going to buy a little bit of time.
Pop goes the Crocodiles, not one of the nursery rhymes I'm familiar with, but...
Really? Not even in Australia?
Nope. Long last, the Crocodile does go down. Smeb too far up. Had a ward down. In fact, had 2 wards, and yet was taken down. That's his mistake. His Faker feeling confident, buoyed by the earlier action.
Seismic shove not going to connect, but well, that threaded volley certainly does. Maybe hop away and try to get his own TP off. Or just try to match him. Just go at the same time, but have Meganar ready to go. Hook coming out. They will find the lockdown there on the Score, and so much damage. Kidnap off as he jumps to the side, gets out safely thanks to Mata. But the blue buff will be taken away.
Zach cannot be interrupted. That's why he opened with it. And SKT, obviously, will be a joy as well, but they never have to do anything until everything lines up. Start that Baron a second time, but they're going to be ready to peel at a moment's notice.
Well, Antara is already going to go ahead and start hiding out in the jungle. Has the TP ready to go as he starts running up.
Get nowhere near it.
Yeah, Smeb's going to be matching, and that's just going to be Smite coming down. No one can walk up. Baron goes over. Wolf checking the brush.
Have the Warlords.
Be a fly on the wall of the KT roster booth and hear how the comms are going. Talked about how this team can be very emotional. A lot of players who are the biggest names in their team.
Flash to the side.
Try something.
Bang will get drawn back in. Hook not going to connect. The Score just takes a minion for a ride. Antara, in the meantime, will go ahead and take that first inhibitor of the game. 32 minutes in. Baron buff still on the members of SK Telecom. It's about 75% of the way done as he transforms and can just go ahead and push back up towards this mid side if they so choose. In the meantime, Faker did a lot of damage to this this top lane inhib turret, as you will now see. And now it's gone. Just Faker things. Tier 2 in mid going down. All of the turrets outside of the base have been eliminated. Going to be 2 open inhibs in the base, about to be 3, and maybe they all just get taken because SK Telecom are looking completely unstoppable here in game number 4. Jump in, comes through from Score, takes a ton of damage immediately as Mana finds a hook down onto Bang, but he QSS's it immediately and fires back with the kill. Almost finds depth as well, but doesn't want to go leaping in onto multiple members, but Adara says, screw it, I'm tanking it up, I'll do it for you. Hook coming down, finds Score, he's going to get the passive pop, they'll finish him off, and it's just going to be Pawn with no damage, feeling all so lonely back in the fountain as SKT goes ahead and shatters this Nexus. Yet again, 33 minutes on the clock. We're going all the way, Papa Smith. We're going to game 5, where SKT looks to complete a reverse sweep.
SK Telecom while. Put that Zac away. Put it in the jungle, please. KT Rolster. Dodge field and dodge out 3 of those autos. Takes to use the potion in this case, and Blank's actually invading onto the
flag and drag in. He's just going to get the pop up. Smite comes through there from Score, trying to stay alive. Will go dangerously low, but with Pawn in the vicinity, they're not going to be able to
autos makes him potent against basically every laner except Kassadin, who actually prefers it this way. Autos makes him potent against basically every laner except Kassadin, who actually prefers it this way. More value out of the Q-Max with Deathbite Touch, giving him a little bit of trough will happen when you're Sivir. You have to go for Essence Reaver to help with your mana management. Infinity Edge probably going to follow, but found an early shot to...
Oh, looking for the jump in. They get the pop up, and Blank comes over the wall. First blood. This goes right over to Bang in an instant.
Yeah, able to flash in as well. Level 8 Jarvan, so much extra burst.
He wants to revisit that, but Infinity Edge would be a different path here for him, as Faker is very far forward. Slingshot getting ready to come through. Tries to get the Valkyrie off, but he'll get locked down, and he'll get taken out as Pawn comes up with the kill.
So and I guess the Corki damage to some extent. Jarvan and Trundle on the physical side of things. I think they know Score's here.
It's a very aggressive push forward here as they get the pop-up in onto Score. Pulverize comes down, but the passive will still get popped. Now Blank over the wall, finds the Cataclysm, and Pawn has to flash to safety. TP to try to delay here. Smeb looks to come through, or rather it was Pawn's here.
Will Score get out? He
Blank,
does!
A couple more shots coming through, could take him down. Mata with a headbutt, not going to be able to get the kill, but Score does live in the end.
He had the passive proc up, and he also has wave clear. Most carries have to build Shiv early to have anywhere near the wave clear. Sivir does is in the mid lane.
And Blank not going to land that flag and drag. Has the Cataclysm, but hasn't thrown it out yet. In the meantime, Pawn just duking it out with Faker on the top side and Score. No passive anymore. Will get taken down. Faker looking for the kill onto the Kassadin. Goes over the wall, but the flash comes through. The final rocket will finish him off. Mana dying as well, and now Depth is left stranded all on his lonesome. 4 kills about to come through for SK Telecom in game number 5. He'll pop the heal to desperately try to get away. Has the flash, but it seems like he suspects that he would have died anyway. Does go down. Meanwhile, up top, Smeb trying desperately to trade something back. It's a manaless Trundle.
For the side of SKT, it's not over yet. They do have power being put together on items like Rod of Ages. Sivir getting closer and closer to 3 items, and their team fight can be powerful. But the immediate goal is there, and here's the attempt.
Wall coming through. Wolf looking for the engage. Mata trying to turn things around, but I don't think they can really afford to. Smeb arrives off the backside of the stand united.
Meanwhile, Bang is just going to truck down the turret with Rift Herald as well. KT needs to get a lot of kills.
I mean, they need to get back to the base. SK Telecom can just try to delay as best as possible. Score still pushing forward. Recall's being channeled by Depth and Mata. But the charge is going to come down. And it's going to be a hell of a lot of damage, maybe even just a turret here, depending on how long Bang wants to stick around. He's got that Feather Storm, and yeah, there you go. Final hit will come through, and it's an inhibitor.
Flash up, not teleport yet, but feels good enough to push out further than you think. Pick up another minion wave. His Mata has to ult. He's probably still dead.
I mean, has to flash away as well, just to really make sure that he can get out of there. Will be slowed up. Blank not looking to dive the turret alone, so Mata will be able to escape these waves, as they're about 8,000 in the lead at the moment. And then they can get prepped for that Baron.
To me, the most amazing thing about this series is we see a particle fly very slowly over the way to Faker. We're going to see it here. Come on, OGN, show it to us. Yeah, there it is. But the most amazing thing about this series is that think about what SKT was staunchly banning. Rakan and the Trundle. They've actually wielded them surprisingly well in this series, even though they were banned in previous games. As Tara's going to get closed down by the entire team.
They're looking for this one. Stand United coming through, and Tara does not have the flash. And seems like he might just be dead. Wolf looking for some sort of avenue of approach where he can try to save his life, but it's just not realistic. Faker, in the meantime, he just wants the blue buff. We'll find it. So we do have On the Hunt get popped, Bang going up into the air with a Feather Storm as Blank gets jumped on,
Okay.
gets absolutely melted, but he still stays alive.
Civis free hitting.
Will claim the life of Wolf. Now the flashing coming
Watch
through,
Deft.
trying to keep them alive. Pulverize in onto Faker, he goes low. Deft draws him back, but doesn't have the damage to keep himself in the fight. Deft comes up with another one. Blank will be sent limping back, but KT now, after coming up with 4 kills, will be looking to take this Baron.
You let Infinity Edge Deft free hit, this is what happens, but still, it's going to be difficult for KT to guarantee that someone needs to deal with Blank. Doesn't have Flash, but he has a Blast Cone. With a will, there's a way, and Mana doesn't have the health bar to really stop him.
Still looking for TP now coming through as Antara has respawned down to about 2,800. He's going to get headbutted away. Mana takes the blast
No
cone into
cooldowns
the
for
pit.
Blank.
They do not have it. Blank finds 1 kill, but that's going to be the spine coming through from Score to go ahead and pick up the Baron. But can they make it out with any of the buffs? Deft so very low, no flash, no mana, will be beaten down by Antara. Now it's just 3 members making their way back into the base. Seems like they will be safe, will be able to hold on to these Baron buffs. So still have to be careful though. You see how much damage is still coming out of the members of SKT here.
I want you to notice that Deft bought an entire rapid fire cannon from a single fire.
It's pretty good to me. Blank looking for the knock up there on the pawn. Still pretty elusive with the Cassidon. Now,
oh, actually gets the stun.
Back. Yeah, Deft gonna go low. Has that Stand United coming through to try to keep him alive, but it's not gonna be enough. Faker comes up with the kill. Cataclysm down, but they just have to jump right out of that one pawn. With a Rip Walk, takes himself out to safety. Mana falls, and just like that, KT get undone yet again. SK Telecom going to be pushing against the Baron empowered minions, but this should be a fairly easy task with the bottom lane gone.
Deft giveth, Deft taketh away. Got the free hits on the previous fight, and this one got baited into running straight at Bang and got caught by the Blade Core. The one ability he could not be called for. They will lose their inhibitor for free, KT Rolster, and they are 1 team fight away from losing the game. Scenario that led to KT's re-entrance into this game is going to be so difficult because they piled onto a Trundle. SKT weren't taking anything else across the map, and then SKT took a fight 4v5. They will not make a mistake that big again, as Score is trying to answer here.
He's able to find it, but is that going to be enough? Bang goes up with the Feather Storm, pulls out the Blade Caller to try to keep himself alive. Is in the back line. He's firing away onto the front line members here of KT, and it's going to be Smeb, but the first one to fall is going to be Wolf. A lot of field going away. Pawn has to jump out with the Rip Walk to try to keep himself alive, but in the meantime, Smeb has gone down. And now just trying to be full retreat here for the side of KT, but it just does not seem likely. Score has fallen. 2 members already picked up. Mata going down as well. That's 3 dead. Deft and Pawn going to be the only 2 remaining ones to try to defend the base with an open inhibitor in the top lane.
And another fight where Deft was free hitting, but that time Achilleos Untara was able to steal the stats out of the front line. There was no front line for the Sivir to fight around, and eventually couldn't do the damage. And SKT, with the death timers around 20 seconds, they're going to see if they can end the game here, or at least take a couple of turrets.
See, they got the one super creep here, pushing in. Blank going forward, looking for Deft as he tries to fire away to clear out the minions. Pawn having to retreat, jumps back. Spike goes forward. Can they trade out a kill? Yes, they can. Pawn comes up with that one. Now looking for a second as Antara goes low, but he's out of mana. Has the blue, but it's not regenerating fast enough. Deft pushing forward. He's all on his lonesome. Has the crit, takes down Bang, but he also dies.
The 1-for-1 there's okay, I guess, at maximum. They're going to try to get more as there's mana coming in. It's actually Shen coming in, not the Cassidon on this teleport.
He's looking for something, looking for Antara perhaps. We'll spot him out, but too many other members
turned into meat shields by the subjugate ability from Untara. They're not as sturdy as they need to be. AT got the first Baron. SKT is all the way on top of the second one. It's so fast.
Yeah, and they're just going to burn right through this one with relative ease. And now KT, yet again, have to be the ones to try to escape. Pillar's already been thrown down as Mata dives into the back line, looking for the pulverize there on a Bang. Finds it, but there's no follow-up. Goes back in, has to flash away, and Score is just getting ripped apart by Faker and company. Smeb with the dodge field buys a little bit of time for himself, but has to use a Shadow Dash, get himself away, and SKT have gone ahead, pushed KT back.
It's a 2-threat comp, and Pawn couldn't enter the fight, therefore they did not have anywhere near the damage they needed. And able to take someone Ocean, down. Remember, also.
Yeah, plus the spite on the Krugs.
Getting 22 health a second. Able to come back in. Blank is initiation, and then largely there for the ability to reduce damage onto Faker.
Pawn is still sitting on the sidelines, looking for this flanking opportunity, but with Score going back to the fountain, going to be delayed that much further. SKT, a couple more shots. One more, there you go. That's going to be it. Smep
flash
goes in, looking for the play. Big knock-up coming through off the backside of the Pulverize. Bang into the back line. Does force out the Zonias from Pawn as he stays alive. Cataclysm thrown down by Blank, trying to cut off the rest of the members. And Bang finds the first kill, getting rid of Pawn. Pops score, back into the passive, and now is pushing forward, looking to heal up off of these Oozlings. Finds it as Untara, claims the life of Smeb. It's just Depth and Mana left alive, but they might not be lasting much longer. There you go. The Sivir all on her lonesome, but it doesn't even matter. There's nothing that Depth can do. SK Telecom in the semifinal. They're going on to play against Longzhu a week from today. It's the reverse sweep, bringing it back in. They win 3-2.
SK Telecom jump on the gyrocopter with Faker on Corki. 3 games, 3 victories. They will go to the grand final and face Longzhu Gaming in a week. And oh, did they make it hard for themselves. Dropping game 1, dropping game 2, getting KT Rolster fans uncomfortably excited, Achilles. But the excitement, as so often is the case, has turned upside down. The frowns are now going to be there. You can see KT heads in their hands. Mada was not able to carry them over the line on the Thresh this time. Everyone else has felt this pain before. KT Rolster came within a game of going to the grand final, of guaranteeing Worlds qualification today. They can at least rest easy, and then they are in a great spot to make it to Worlds. But I would have said the same thing a year ago, and they couldn't make it happen, Achilles, so that creeping doubt is going to be back for KT Rolster. But the SKT fans, the vocal majority, are celebrating on this day.
Absolutely. They do just that. They earn their ticket to Worlds. SK Telecom, everything just culminating here for them with this victory. Worlds, the grand final, the first team to ever go from the wild card all the way where Longzhu has been awaiting them patiently. They come up with the victory. The entire org piles into the booth, and they are just absolutely ecstatic.
Mental fortitude of SK Telecom can never be denied. If this was SKT 2-0 up, I think no one would have said reverse sweep from KT Rolster in 2017. But SKT, they stand strong. They make one change, bringing in Blank in the place of Peanut. He was able to play the tank junglers that Peanut's Maokai failed to achieve in the first couple of games. And KT were blown away in game 3 and 4. They weren't competitive. Some of their victories in game 1 and 2, you could say the same thing. Game 5 was more on the competitive side, but they'll have the one moment the VOD will be frozen when Score could have gotten out with a flash around the Drake. They didn't need to give up 4 kills and make the Xayah 3-0 with the Essence Reaver. There is the cheers, there is the salutes from SKT. Their fans are going to be ecstatic, but KT Rolster, will they ever be able to rid themselves of the tag of almost men? We don't have Rocks Tigers of 2016 anymore.